your puppy crying? Woo! I don't know. But I'm going to help you out and figure out why and what you can do about it. So, why is your puppy crying? A couple reasons, all right? First off, you got to look at it as a child. Now, granted, I am not a parent, and I will not be for medical reasons, but we got to think about it as a child, as a baby. And while many of you may not be parents or plan to be parents or whatnot, I can almost guarantee that a fair percentage of you have at least handled a baby, seen a baby, heard a baby. There's a fair chance that you have, okay? And even in the slightest bit, you can pull some educational value out of that from just hearing a baby cry, which, I gotta give it to your parents. You got a hard job, so keep it up. But nonetheless, why is your pup crying? If we look at it as a child, okay, as a baby, they're the same thing in certain aspects, okay? I don't want anyone coming at me like, oh, how dare you call my baby a dog? Well, sorry, lady, but sometimes I'd rather have a dog than your crazy child. But nonetheless, this isn't a rant. This is an educational talk. So, there's a couple reasons. If it's a lab, which is kind of what I'm referencing here, considering the business, but it kind of applies to all, they're probably hungry. All right. The biggest thing that you hear on a lot of these YouTube videos, whenever you search that phrase, why is my dog crying? Why is my dog whining? Why is my dog so loud? It won't stop barking. Well, they all kind of fit into one thing. It's, are their needs met? And we've all heard that a million times. If you surf through the first page of that YouTube channel or whatever, you'll probably hear that a million times. All right. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel because it's just how it is. Your pup is either hungry, thirsty, has to go out for number one, has to go out for number two, and I believe besides that, those are kind of the big ones. You can throw a couple others in there. I mean, sometimes it's situation dependent, but for the most part, those are kind of the big ones that you want to focus on, all right? And does it have something to chew on? Man, I can't stand it when I talk to people and they're like, hey, I need help with this. And I say, okay, well, your pup's in the kennel. All right, good. Is the pup able to chew on something besides something you don't want them to chew on? And they're usually like, well, no, I don't have anything in the crate because then it'll just destroy it. Well, your method is flawed. I hate to tell you. But no, you got to have something for the pup to chew on, all right? Whether it's got to be something, either nylabone or an antler I always like to toss in there. Something they, A, can't choke on, and B, can't tear up and make a mess of, all right? That's kind of just scratching the surface on that stuff. But we want to make sure there's something in there for the pup to keep busy on. Because the way pups work when they go into their kennel, all right, they got to be at the point where, all right, they don't understand yet that this is their home when you're not out working them or you're not home, okay? So they have to be comfortable in it, all right? This doesn't mean we go and sprinkle treats in all the time. Sure, when we're teaching our pup how to kennel up or kennel, whatever command you want to use, we will apply treat methods, all right? That's fine. But do we want to have like a constant waterfall of treats coming in? No. Nope, because that just tells your pup that, hey, if I go here, I'm going to go eat. We don't want that. Now, without getting off topic, we can let our pup eat its dinner, its breakfast, whatever meal you feed it in the kennel. Now, only for a short bit, but that's how we relate good and kennel together, okay? But that's another topic. So, does your pup fit into any of those categories where they might need that thing? Well, ask yourself that first. Don't overload your pup with water, because as much as they will drink, that's as much as they're going to pee. And for some pups, like a couple I have here, especially labs, and for some reason it's all those working dog breeds. I still have yet to learn that. But they will chug that entire bowl until it's gone. All right. Some pups don't have that off switch yet. They don't realize that, hey, man, why do I keep puking every time I come in here after I slam that whole bowl of water? Well, probably because you slammed that whole bowl of water there, bud. So, moderation is key when you're doing those kind of replies, if you want to call it that. How to answer your pup when it's whining, all right? Now, kind of the gray area is some pups are just going to whine, all right? They're just going to whine and want to see you, and that's just kind of their go-to. That's just how they release, all right? So don't be discouraged, all right? The biggest thing is you got to grow numb to it almost, or deaf to it, if you want to use that term. You know, a lot of people, when they come over there either for, dinner or drinks at my house, or just coming in to say hi, and we'll sit down and we'll be talking, and they'll say, your pup's calling you. And I'm like, really? You just kind of tone it out over a while. And that's kind of what you have to do. It's kind of one of those trial by fire things where you just have to go through it long enough with enough pups that you get used to it, all right? And what's nice about that is not only do you, but your pup will too, all right? So that's something to remember. So when they're in the kennel, leave them the heck alone, all right? That's the biggest thing. We don't want them to understand or get the impression that every time they whine, they get a reaction out of us, whether it's coming in, whether it's taking them out to go pee 1,000,000 times, all right? We don't want that. Remember, you're in control of your pup, all right? You're in control of how you teach it, how you train it, how its behavior is in and out of the house, and in and out of the kennel. So you almost have to ignore it, all right? The puppy stage is rough, as I'm sure the baby stage is even harder, okay? But like I said, there's similarities between the two. So that's how we can relate that. Now, if your pup is demand barking, demand whining, the same thing will apply, all right? I have a whiner right now, a lab that's a whiner. It whines a lot, all right? But if you've ever taken notice, and if you haven't, kind of just sit on the steps and listen where your pup can't see you. They'll have about maybe a 10-minute, maybe less, maybe more, tantrum of just either demand barking or demand whining, just going banana sandwich, right? Let them wear themselves out, all right? Let them let it out. They will. I promise they will. They will understand over time that's not going to get them anywhere, all right? They're going to understand that, hey, why is my throat hurt so much? Why is nobody coming when I'm barking? They're going to understand, again, trial by fire, in their perspective, that barking doesn't equal praise, treats, food, toys, or playtime out of the kennel. They need to understand, again, and I don't mean to be repetitive, but so many people give in. They need to understand that this is their home inside their home, okay? They need to not be afraid of going in. Everyone, well, I can't say I've had too many, but I've had a few that come to me and they say, hey, my dog doesn't want to go in the kennel. It's like terrified of it. Tucks its tail between its legs. I'm like, okay, well, do you praise it? How did you bring it up training wise? It'll be a couple months past where it should be crate trained. And they'll say, well, it wouldn't stop barking and it wouldn't stop whining. So I came in, I checked on it, nothing. I was like, all right, well, I asked them about the needs. Were they met? She said, well, I really didn't know. I didn't keep track. And I said, listen, best practice for any new or even experienced dog owners, because even experienced dog owners forget, keep a log. Keep a log. Me, I have a memory. Man, I'll probably forget I made this video in about 5 minutes. That's how bad my memory is. But I have a big, hefty notebook, all right? I just keep all my logs in there. I keep records. Hey, this pup, this breed, this amount of time was in the kennel. Okay, did it have an accident? All right, well, now I know I have to take it out before that amount of time. Same dog, did it demand bark for this long? Did it demand whine for this long? When you start to get a log and start to get a trail, or a paper trail almost, of how your puppy reacts and how your puppy is, you'll have a better understanding of how to train it and how to handle situations like that. So biggest thing, guys, leave it alone in there. Give it something to chew on. Now, here's a secret. Behavior within a pup and how a pup thinks is, again, similar to humans. All right? Some are kind of claustrophobic. Some are the opposite and just want to get out. And you have to almost mold them to understand, okay, this is my space. Can't get out, and let them accept the fact that this is where I'm going to nap, I'm going to relax, or I'm in timeout, or something like that. You know, whatever you're trained to do. Biggest thing is within your kennel, or I should say around your kennel, get a piece of plywood. I use a dang, I can't think of what it's called. Cornhole. I use 2 cornhole boards, and my kennel is up against the wall. The one long side is up against my wall in my one room. So that leaves 3 walls exposed, all right? The back side is to the window, and obviously the other 2 sides are, one's towards the bed and one's towards the front of my master bedroom. Get something that's a little bit bigger, probably about 3 or 4 inches further out than the borders of your kennel. So like if I'm gonna have a horrible reference here, but if here's your kennel, right? All right, this is, say, the top of it. You want to make sure that you get a piece of wood. This is the piece of wood that goes across it as such. So it almost makes a lip over top, or an overhang. The reason you do this is so that you can put a sheet. It doesn't matter what kind of sheet. Just make sure it's a sheet that's long enough and big enough to cover all the way to the ground of your kennel walls. Now, you only have to cover 2 sides if one side is up against the wall. Obviously, if it's not, you got to cover 3. We want to leave the back side, or the side that has the least amount of traffic or distractions or thing that's going to keep your pup awake, all right? We want to leave that side exposed, not open. Not if it's the door side, don't leave it open, but we want to leave it exposed. Okay, so the pup at least understands, hey, they're not trapped. But we want to cover all the sides besides that one with a sheet. All right, you've probably heard it a million times, but for some people, they don't get it. You do that so that the pup, I'm not going to say claustrophobic because that's not what it is, but they understand that now they have walls. All right, it's a comforting factor. All right, imagine if you were in a cage and just kind of, you know, butt naked, and everyone keeps looking at you, and you know, ooh, you want a treat? You kind of feel uncomfortable, all right? And you wouldn't want to go to sleep because everyone's watching you, or you just feel like you're on alert all the time because you don't know what's out there, you know? You just have this little cage. Give them walls, all right? You know, if it's a windy day out and you don't have a home or something like that, you know, you will look for shelter. You'll make shelter. You'll build walls. You'll build a roof, all right? You know, why? Because it's a comforting factor for mental and physical aspects of their life, all right? Same thing applies, okay? Same thing applies. You want to make them a shelter, all right, with walls. Kind of out there, but I like to dive into the mind of the pups. I love to do that. So do that. The reason we have the overhang is so that your pup can't grab the sheet with its tongue if it's just hung over and chew it up. You know, my pup's weird, though, in that sense, because he will, the first time I didn't put the cornhole boards over top, he would grab it, and where most pups would chew and tear it apart, he just brought it in enough where he could lay on it. And the first time I saw it, I was like, what? You just want a mattress, buddy? Like, I can get you a mat, you know? So, every pup's different. But that's kind of basics, guys. I want to keep this around 15 minutes. I'm sorry I was blabbing, but there's a lot to cover. You know, I dive into every detail. So, if you guys like this, and you want more videos like this, let me know. You know, you can ask me to hey, do this, or pick a topic, and I'll address it. I'll help you out, because puppyhood is hard. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you got something out of it. Good luck, and let me know if you need anything else, and we'll see you on the next one.
Try to catch me howling at the moon.